So recently I saw a new documentary about Marc Gasol. It's called Memphis Made that I saw on YouTube. And wow, that was a fantastic documentary of one of the greats to play in the Memphis Grizzlies uniform. He's the brother of Pau Gasol. His journey to the NBA was magnificent. Um, when he was a teenager, he was a chubby kid. Um, but what's so interesting about that is that Pau Gasol got drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies, and then Marc Gasol he didn't get drafted by the Grizzlies, even though it feels that way. But he came through a trade from the Lakers because the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies they made a trade, which happened in February 2008, and Pau Gasol got traded to the Lakers, and the Lakers sent the Grizzlies in a package which featured Marc Gasol. But it was Pau Gasol who told the GM that that Marc will be way better than him, and that you guys won't regret having him on your team. So Pau Gasol was the one who vouched for his brother. When the Memphis Grizzlies front office, they were skeptical, they weren't too sure about Marc Gasol, but it was Pau Gasol who really put the stamp saying, Marc Gasol, he's going to be a great player for the Memphis Grizzlies, and he certainly did so. I feel that those Memphis Grizzlies team from 2011 through 2015, they were fun, they were entertaining. What was so great about those teams is that they were not a super team. They were all about grit and grind. I feel that they were one superstar away from, going to the promised land, because defensively they were one of the best teams in that era. 2013 stands out the most to me because of how great that team was. You had Mike Conley, Zebo, Zach Randolph, Tony Allen, one of my all-time favorite defensive guards. You have Rudy Gay there. That team was legit. They head coach Lionel Hollins, Marc Gasol. He won Defensive Player of the Year that year. Although I would have given it to LeBron that year, but I'm not mad, and I couldn't be mad that Marc Gasol won that year. That Memphis Grizzlies were very fun to watch. Any team that faces them knew that it was not going to be an easy matchup. It was not going to be easy to deal with that Grizzlies team. And throughout the postseason, man, the Grizzlies had some great series, some great battles with OKC when they had Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. The battles with the San Antonio Spurs. I remember when they beat San Antonio in 2011, the first round. Memphis Grizzlies were the number 8 seed, and they played outstanding well. They were outstanding. They won in 6 games, I remember. But then the Spurs got their revenge in the Western Conference Finals in 2013 when they swept them. So I feel that the matchups with OKC and San Antonio, the West was tough in those years. They were tough. Memphis had to go through those teams. The Clippers with Chris Paul, they were also a good team. Memphis, they were one of those teams that they battled, they competed, but they just couldn't make it to the finals or even win at all. It was getting tighter and tighter each and every year, but they didn't get to win. But what I respect about those teams, led by Marc Gasol, was the grit and the grind. Always hustling, always playing hard each and every night. And this documentary was great because you got to see more about Marc Gasol, the person behind the scenes, and the kind of player he was. He was one of those players that he was very hard on his teammates. He hated losing. He was all about winning. And I like players like that. That's why I was very happy that he won a championship with Toronto in 2019. Tony Allen, when he came to Memphis, he won a title in 2008 with the Boston Celtics. But Marc Gasol, he was hard on his teammates. He was a hard worker. I remember when they drafted, I think this was the 2009 draft. Shabby to be, I forgot that prospect's name. That he was the second overall pick for the Grizzlies. You guys might know what I'm talking about. This was the 2009 draft, I believe. When Gasol saw that the Grizzlies drafted him, he took that as a challenge, and he basically won the challenge because the draft pick turned out to be a bust, and Gasol, the hardworking player that he is, he said, I'm the big man here, and it's gonna stay that way, and it did. When the Grizzlies were going through changes, let's say head coaching, when they brought Coach Fizdale, oh boy, I remember reading articles and hearing stuff about Marc Gasol and Fizdale not getting along, and then obviously that wasn't sugarcoated in this documentary. Fizdale, when he decided to put Zach Randolph coming from the bench, that didn't sit well with Marc Gasol because Marc Gasol and Zebo in the front court, that was his mate. That was his running mate right there. So Marc Gasol, he was vocal about it. He didn't like the changes that Fizdale was making. It was a complete transition from Hollis to Fizdale. So it just it didn't work. Whatever Fizdale was trying to do, it didn't work. So Marc Gasol, that's when aside from being a hard worker, he was very vocal. He was not quiet whatsoever. He was very vocal in what he didn't like and what he expected from his teammates, from his coaches, from the front office. And I just wish that more players would be that way. Not to overstep, You might think that he overstepped, but I don't think he did. He just was a person that is willing to win. That's why guys like him, after watching this documentary, I respect Marc Gasol so much more. Guys like him, Jimmy Butler, Giannis, that they're all about winning. They don't care about, being a flashy scorer or things like that. They're all about grinding it out, leaving it all on the floor by any means necessary. They want to win by any means necessary. So yeah, players like that deserve to win a ring. And players like that, I become a fan of. But Marc Gasol, Memphis made, a person that is well-deserved, well-beloved in the Memphis community, that has done a lot off the court as well. And that's some things that you get to see in the documentary. I really recommend you guys to watch this documentary because it's very essential. I loved it. He does so much for the community. The lives that he saved, the lives that he has touched, the friendships and relationships that he's built with that community and even with the players that he played with, is still being felt to this day. And to have his jersey retired in that organization, I mean, I would love to see, obviously, his is well deserved, but when I think about that team with Zebo, him and Tony Allen, all of them deserve and should have their jerseys retired in that organization because of what they brought on the court those years. So yeah, I recommend it. Memphis made, Marc Gasol, Clearly, guys like Marc Gasol and Pau Gasol, the brothers, they were great players on the floor. It was a dream come true for them to play against one another at the All-Star game in Madison Square Garden. It would have been even much better if it was an NBA Finals matchup. Those guys, they were well brought up, well taught, coming from Spain, and they did it. They thrived in the NBA. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Oh yes, I forgot to give it a review. My review for this documentary from 1 through 5, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So again, please, subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to go to my website, mikesproduct.shop, so you could buy my latest products there. I have coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, the list goes on and on. So check it out, mikesproduct.shop. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe. And may God bless each and every one of you.